So you have a itinerary and you love overlanding. You have plans to do it big on the trails and some super glamping. One idea, tip, news and reviews, a podcast the first rate and here just for you. You don't have to think about it, join us and be about it. Something interesting we want to hear about it, come on let's talk about it. Welcome to Waypoint Overland's Random Waypoints Podcast.
Sponsored by Midland, communication for every adventure, the industry leader in radio communication technology and innovation for over 50 years. Sponsored by My Medic. Sponsored by Tembo Tusk. Sponsored by Shower Pouch. Sponsored by DeMoss Collective, mission built and made for mobility. Sponsored by Brew Trek. Sponsored by Hard Impact Designs.
Always remember, the opinion you follow should be your own. Just consider the things stated here to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online.
Hey, how's it going, Phil?
I'm great. I'm feeling good.
Good.
So what did you think about the new vehicle that I just showed you?
I think it's really interesting. I think it's an interesting concept. I think I have to wonder how comfortable it would be to ride. And I wonder about the stability as well. It looks like to be maybe about the size of a suitcase, I want to say. So yes. I wonder how much it weighs.
I think they said it was like 45 pounds or something like that. It's not very heavy. It's something easily transportable.
Mm-hmm.
And for the listeners of audio only, we just looked at the new Honda Motocompacto e-scooter. There's a new one coming out. This one will be electric, and it'll be $1,000. Which sticks out to me. It only has a 12-mile range for what it's supposed to be for and its features all together. That's not a bad deal. That's supposed to be like the last leg vehicle. So, maybe you live in the suburbs and you drive into the city and then you park your vehicle. Then you have this little scooter to drive around the city, or 12 miles, you could just use that every day to do your little errands around your neighborhood. I could see myself using one of those. And because of the size, you can stash that thing pretty much anywhere. I thought it was a good vehicle to show because I could see this being popular and being popular amongst overlanders.
Mm-hmm.
The price is right for the size and what it does. I could see lots of people just stashing one of these in their vehicle. I could envision a year from now going to an expo and seeing a bunch of these zooming back and forth through the event.
I have to wonder how this would perform compared to the scooters that get similar range that have grown in popularity. I wonder why one would choose to sit rather than stand. I'm curious about that. Is it more comfortable for someone? I have questions about that in particular, because I have been in a place where I have rented through Lime and gone all over the downtown areas and things like that. It was a blast. We just used the heck out of those things. So I would compare it to that. So
well,
that's where my thought is.
Makes sense. And using your scenario, I could see that being advantageous for a person with some kind of limits or physical limitations. It may be the difference between pulling that out of your vehicle and hopping right on it versus parking your vehicle and walking some distance to find one of the bikes that you just described. That might be the difference in between someone actually being able to enjoy the downtown or not. Another thing is, because of its size, it can just always be there. And it doesn't have to always be some major downtown where they have, the options like you were just describing. It could be any little small town.
Right.
And it charges in 3.5 hours. I think that's pretty good.
I do too. It's very reasonable.
And like in the video, they showed some people sitting at a restaurant. I could so see that someone sitting at a restaurant that's right by the table and they plug in real quick.
Yeah.
So I see a future for these. Not only that, I see other brands of car company maybe adding their own branded versions of these.
So the only thing that I would say, because I think that they're a great idea, I will say after we ended up renting, we looked into purchasing because it was so convenient and so just really great. And it's an alternative to a bicycle. Okay. So my only thing, if you're going to be sitting, it would make sense to me that they would put some kind of storage on this. So if you do go to the store, you have a basket at the front of this thing that's maybe collapsible too, so that you can take it on and off as you would like it, as you would like to use it. I would like to maybe see a basket on there if I'm going to be sitting. That would be the only thing that I would say about that. Otherwise, why not use the scooter?
I agree. As an accessory, I believe it should stay as is with those accessories.
Yes.
So I think we both agree it looks cool and it might be successful.
I think so. I definitely think there's a market for it.
So you know that the New American Honda Collection Hall showcased their Honda history last week by opening their hall. Okay. Did you see the video of it?
Yes, I did. Honda is really renowned for reliability. Whenever you see a Honda product, whenever I look at a Honda product, I think about reliability. So I think that, you can't go wrong with Honda, generally speaking, pretty much whenever they put whatever they put out. But the hall with the museum and all the great looking little cars and things and looking and walking through that history. I actually knew somebody who had one of these original Civics, and the size of this thing was, it was about the size of that scooter we just saw. It was so tiny. It was probably from, I think, the 70s, but the hall and the collection and everything is just really interesting. I think, in fact, they show a Honda CRV, the original CRV in silver. I owned that vehicle.
Oh.
In that color.
So we kind of jumped into this. Let me be clear what we're talking about. The New American Honda Collection Hall officially opened its doors in Southern California. Are you planning on going?
It's someplace I would definitely like to visit. I find things like this interesting.
Because that's maybe 4 hours from you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not far at all. Southern California is very close.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not going to make plans to just go there, but whenever I'm in California, I'm definitely going.
Yeah.
From the video, it seems like it covers everything. Mm-hmm. And you were talking about their dependability. Mm-hmm. I even feel more so that point when it comes to everything other than their cars. Like I really think that their motorcycles and their generators and the other things that they make are really reliable and are a first choice.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. They actually came out with a brand new boat motor. Did you know that? In their marine line, they came out with their first 8. Their first production V8.
Are you looking at boats or you just knew that?
Well, we used to own boats, so I pay attention to the news, but I happened to see it. It actually it came up just randomly in the news. And I thought, oh, well, that's pretty darn interesting, I think. Because they're typically known for their smaller engines, the 4s, their stretch, at a stretch for them is a 6. So for them to come out with an 8 in any line, that's newsworthy, I think.
Well, in their bike line, what made Honda was how successful they were at using one-stroke engines. So the smaller it gets, the more they're successful as far as technology, dependability, and on and on. Mm-hmm. But this American Honda Collection Hall, just for those who might be interested, it's at the American Honda headquarters in Torrance, California. And it's open to the public during regular car, bikes, and coffee events. And they're starting this month. Honda plans to introduce 10 or more electric motorcycle models globally by 2025. And they aim to increase annual sales of electric models to 1 million units within the next 5 years. And about 3.5 million units as of 2030. And that's the equivalent of 15% of their total unit sales. So this isn't some little small plan that they got off to the side. This is a major endeavor that they're planning on doing. Just the sheer number of vehicles is amazing, but to have this many electric vehicles coinciding with that many internal combustion engines, it sounds like they're trying to run the world. What do you think about the 2024 Toyota RAV4?
Oh, I like the RAV4. I think it's a nice little vehicle. I like to see that they've made some additional upgrades to it for 2024 because I thought the adventure model was pretty cute. It's just a really cute, compact adventure vehicle that I could see a rooftop tent on, and just heading out into the wilderness with.
I could be wrong, but this looks like a vehicle to address Subaru.
Yes, I completely agree with that. Absolutely. Yep.
And I think they did a great job.
And you get great gas mileage doing it because it is a smaller vehicle. So, and it's a direct competitor with the Honda CR-V, since we're talking Honda today as well. So, but the new Woodland edition is very interesting.
It's a beautiful vehicle. I love the color of green. I love the accents, the upgrades that they made to it. They got all-wheel drive with traction control. And they have all these little details if you look at the pictures, kind of like how Jeep does with their vehicles. So I appreciate their vehicle.
Yeah, I really like it. It's cute. And they've put some thought into it as well, because I've actually looked at the RAV4 in person at the dealership before. They've got little outlets. They're 12-volt outlets for your refrigerator and things like that are available. So I really appreciate how much thought that they've put into things like that.
Toyota Research Institute announced a breakthrough generative AI approach based on diffusion policy to quickly and confidently teach robots news and dexterous skills. So I want everybody to take a look at this video real quick.
Here at TRI, we believe robots should amplify people, at home and at work. To achieve this, we conduct cutting-edge research to make robots more flexible, robust, and general purpose. We've had a bit of a breakthrough. Today, TRI is announcing a new method to teach robots dexterous skills quickly and easily. Our approach is built on a powerful generative AI technique called diffusion policy. This allows us to teach robots much faster and with significantly fewer demonstrations. The approach holds great promise for creating what we call large behavior models. Just like large language models have revolutionized chatbots, these behavior models will allow robots to perform useful work in ways never possible before.
Up until now, the majority of robotic manipulation work has focused on pick-and-place style tasks, where a robot is limited to relatively simple sets of objects it's rearranging. Our new approach goes significantly beyond that and lets us explore much closer to the limits of the hardware. TRI's robots are now capable of using tools, pouring liquids, and peeling vegetables. It's exciting to see them engaging with their environments in rich, multifaceted ways, and all achieved without changing any code or explicitly programming any new skills. Using this technique, we've taught over 60 diverse behaviors to our fleet of robots. The process starts with a teacher, demonstrating a small set of skills through teleoperation. Then, our AI-based diffusion policy learns in the background over a matter of hours. It's common for us to teach a robot in the afternoon, let it learn overnight, and then come in the next morning to a working new behavior. To make this level of dexterity possible, every part of the robot platform must be solid, from the hardware all the way up through the entire software stack. One key enabler is providing human teachers with a sense of touch or a haptic teleop device. Also, just like people, we found that robots learn better when they have a sense of touch. And a perfect example of this is the task of flipping a pancake, where the robot has to make contact with a surface it can't see. Without a sense of touch, it struggles and performs poorly, but is successful in learning the skill once it's able to feel its interaction with the environment.
This is only the beginning. Our team is deeply focused on achieving large behavior models that I mentioned earlier. We anticipate the next breakthrough will be when we've trained the robots with enough dexterous skills that they're able to generalize, performing a new skill that they've never been taught. To realize this, we're building a diverse curriculum for robot learning, essentially a kindergarten for robots, to teach them numerous foundational skills that are useful for working alongside people. We're on pace to teach hundreds of new behaviors by the end of the year and over 1,000 by the end of 2024. We're also leveraging our expertise in simulation to augment our real-world teaching. And finally, we're developing fundamental tools for fleet learning so that when one robot learns, they all learn. I've been working in robotics research for a long time now. The tasks that I'm watching these robots perform are simply amazing. Even a year ago, I would not have predicted we were this close to this level of dexterity. And the rate at which we're able to teach new skills is simply astounding. Nearly every day, I wake up to a new message showing the robot doing something it couldn't do the day before. This is an incredible time to be a roboticist.
Candy, what do you think?
You know, I think it's great how far this technology has come along, but it's a little bit Terminator for me. I'm a little intimidated. That's all we need.
I agree. Any technology at this level can be very good or it can be very bad. And generally, since we live in a capitalistic society, the bad usually wins.
Well, so my point of view is I would like to, as I age, come home to Rosie from the Jetsons, doing my laundry, cooking my meals, driving me to my appointments whenever I can't do it anymore. This is what I hope this technology is headed toward, is helping the elderly in the future, basically. You know, that's what I would like to see this, because what they're doing is approaching. I mean, they're being able to think on their own a little bit is what they're doing. So I would like to have one of these robots around if nobody's going to be taking care of me, and if I'm by myself. You know, I want somebody to help me around the house with things, so I don't have to have somebody else come change my light bulbs. You know, I want this thing to be there, maybe helping me out a little bit. That would be kind of great.
Well, you mentioned what I think is what made the breakthrough. Instead of them looking at it as a technological invention or something scientific, it looks like their approach was to look at it as a human, and a human needs touch. A human doesn't always start from all the way from the beginning. They make minor adjustments. And with the haptic sensors that they're putting on these robots, it's giving them touch, and that touch is allowing them to make adjustments. What I also liked was, because of the way they're using the learning behaviors, it used to be that, like I said, you're basically starting all over every time you make a minor adjustment. Well, this thing is kind of like self-correcting. So in an instance where you said a person for elderly people, well, each elderly person is a different situation. And maybe it may be a thing where it carries the person or assists them in a way. One needs to be adjusted differently for the weight of one to another. So I could see these things rolled out and being fine-tuned in different ways for different tasks, for different people, and it being done on the fly. That's the main thing that I grab from this is that we're reaching a point where technologies will be more tailored to individuals because they have that ability. I thought it was pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to see. Now, did you check out the Optimus robot from Tesla?
The Optimus robot from Tesla. Well, let's.
That was on Twitter.
Oh, I'm not on Twitter.
Oh, okay. Well, Tesla showed their robot. I think I sent it to you on YouTube too. Maybe not. Okay, don't worry about it. But Tesla.
You did. I see him. I see him doing yoga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's your first thought on that?
It's incredible. I'm someone who resists technology. This is why I have old cars and things like that. And all these robotics and things like that are just, it's really mind blowing to me. I just never thought in my lifetime this is something that I would be around to see.
Well, this coincides with what we were just talking about. If these companies got together with these technologies, boy, what's that movie with Will Smith with the robots?
Oh, I Am Robot or something like that?
We're at that point almost. I mean, we're like right at that point. We're at the precipice of something like that.
I would really love to see these things come out to be helpful, really helpful for people. And as I go back to the elderly, because I took care of my dad, if I hadn't been there, he would not have been able to stay at home. He would have had to go into assisted living. This could help these people. It could enable them to stay in their homes and continue to be more independent for longer.
Yes. And I've been on this earth long enough I remember when a digital watch was like $2,000. Right? Now you can get that same watch. The equivalent would be like a $20 Casio, right? So I think this is going to be a major thing in the military first. And then it's going to shrink down, and then maybe even in space too. Then it'll come to the consumer. And then when it reaches the consumer, we'll see all kind of versions of it. That's what I envision.
I don't think you're wrong.
And when it gets to that point, we'll remember back when this was this great thing, and it'll just be like nothing to us at a certain point. And when it gets to that point, I could see it like being a guardian. I could see it being, imagine an older gentleman or older lady not in the best physical condition. I can still drive my vehicle. I can have one of these things as my companion to do tasks, set up my tent. we might not be around when it gets to that point.
Maybe not, but I think that it should be geared toward helping people. That's my opinion. Less military, even though I know that that's where the technology ends up expanding. I do understand that. But, more with the whole helping part.
And it's not all because of evil thinking that it would go to military. Some of it is, but they're the only entity that could finance the research and development for them to make that next step.
Yes. I understand it. That's where we got a lot of medical help too. This is where all our medical advancements came, was through the military funding as well. So no, I completely understand. But peace, love, and adventure is my mantra. So I'm all about the helping.
So just about everything we've talked about, if you put them all together, the way we travel is changing, and it's like a snowball rolling down the hill. It's changing faster and faster. More things are coming out. The goals and ideologies and cultures of major motor companies is changing. They're letting it be known we're going electric. Governments are backing it. Subsidies are for these type of vehicles. It's happening. Ain't no sense in arguing about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is what I was trying to remember and I forgot earlier.
All right.
I believe that at some point, internal combustion engine vehicles will be illegal, and they may allow some grandfathering of some vehicles. So if there's some special vehicle, some dream vehicle that you've had in mind all your life, like you wanted a 19 something FJ Cruiser from the 60s or whatever, or that CJ, you better get it now.
Mm-hmm.
So that it can be grandfathered and you can own it and you can use it, and you might have to have a certain kind of plate or whatever, but you'll have it. Are you following what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying. I would be surprised if they were to just come out and say, this is illegal, you can't drive it anymore. People have limited incomes. Not everybody.
Well, let me explain. I don't think they'll, and I think you were about to hit it. I don't think they'll come out with a law.
Right.
The best laws they can make is just make it unobtainable for you. If gas is $25 a gallon, they don't have to write a law.
Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying. They can make it difficult for ownership, but there are people out there who can't afford to buy an electric vehicle necessarily. I mean, because the price point of it it's cost prohibitive for me to purchase one. I can, it's cheaper for me we're rebuilding our 1986 CJ7 right now. It's cheaper for me to put $10,000 into it and have basically a brand new CJ than it is for me to spend $80,000 to purchase a brand new electric vehicle, or $50,000 to purchase a brand new electric vehicle for the lifestyle that I would like to maintain. Because I do want something that I can build out, that I can take camping and, do continue being adventurous in and things like that. And then, there's the inconvenience of having to recharge it, so it's not there yet. Maybe in our lifetime, they will definitely make it easier, but something else that they may just decide to just, let it go is these combustible engines have a fine lifespan. They have a lifespan. And if people don't know how to work on them, then they're going away anyway. So why fight people and make yourself a bigger villain?
Well, I think they'll go away, but not in the time frame that they want. It's always all about money.
Uh-huh.
I don't care if you have the money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking as if I'm the government or I'm some business entity. I don't care about all. I agree with everything you said, but they don't care about that. They don't care if the poorest people can't afford the latest vehicle, they'll spin it and say that if they're financially destitute, they shouldn't be focusing on buying vehicles. They should be using public transportation, which falls in line with the electric conserve energy thing. They find ways to be incompassionate all the time. So I'm just going by what normally happens. The things that you were talking about, they never have ever cared about, ever.
So I live in Las Vegas. You've lived in Las Vegas. Our city was not designed around public transportation. Mm-hmm. It did not exist for a long time. It wasn't until I was in college that we actually got a bus system here. We're only just now getting, we only recently got the monorail system, and that's all limited to our entertainment corridor. People who live off the strip, public transportation is not readily available like it is in places like Chicago, San Francisco, Los Angeles, things like that. I personally live off of a dirt road. There's no bus coming to my house. So I have to have a car. I have to have a car to get to the grocery store and run my other errands and things and get to places. I can't just get out and walk and go to the store. And this is just the way that our city was designed. So okay. Somebody can't like Miami, you walk out of your condo or whatever, and you walk down the street to the grocery store and you walk your stuff home. That's great for them. Those people don't have to have a car if they can't afford a car. Okay. I need a car. People in cities that are newer like this, or living in outer areas like the suburbs and things like that, we need vehicles. So I don't see the need for vehicles going away. And
I could see them simply saying, and I've seen similar things already done, you would have to go into your Department of Transportation or your DMV, show what area, your address, and certain addresses because of what you said. Mm-hmm. Kind of like a form of grandfathering. Mm-hmm. You'd be allowed for your situation to drive a vehicle, but people that live in Vegas would not have that same ability. Yeah, I've seen them do things like that just too many times.
That's such a shame, because that sounds like that feels like a little bit too much government intervention to me.
I remember when I was young, living in downtown Chicago in a high rise, and there was no parking meters. And the big argument was, well, what about the people who live downtown? We have to pay money to park our cars in front of where we live. Almost an argument similar to what you're saying. And every major city now, you can't park anywhere in a downtown without paying. And there are residents downtown.
Mm-hmm. I've heard people say that they can't afford a car living in like Manhattan and places like that because parking is so outrageous.
And Manhattan is like on the extreme scale, but even in a smaller city like Seattle or Chicago, it's crazy. Mm-hmm. I remember I had a condo right off of Rush Street in Chicago, and the selling point to my condo, because it was just a little 1-bedroom, and you walked out and the kitchen and living room was right there. It was like almost like a studio. It was so small. Mm. But it had value because I owned a parking spot at the bottom of my building. So there were apartments that were like 3-4 bedrooms, but the value of mine was equivalent because of that parking spot.
Nice.
But my point is, they don't care about your story, your situation. Mm. I've never seen the government ever react in a way like that, where it was like, oh wow, the people need this. I've never seen that. But I keep hearing people talk like it happens all the time. Mm. So like I was saying, the world is changing when it comes to travel. I'm just thinking about all of the things that exist now that didn't exist just a little while ago. Like when we go to events, I see so many people on one wheels and electric bikes. And just 5 years ago, that was not happening. Well, I'm all for it because it's allowing us to explore, transport, and do more and be safer. And it allows people whose health is not the best to experience more.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen the sea lions on the coast in California?
Many times.
Got bad news for you.
No.
No more sea lion selfies. Tourists are banned from 2 San Diego beaches, Point La Jolla and Boomer Beach, which happen to be the most popular places people like to go to see them. You're banned from going to see them now because so many people were abusive to them. They didn't show them the animals any kind of respect or everything. So,
Oh my gosh.
I just wanted to highlight how a few can mess up for many.
That is exactly where I went with that, because of some people who just don't have any sense, ruins it for the rest of us. That's a bit unfair, but it's also a bit California. California wants to wrap everybody in bubble wrap.
Mm-hmm. And I know you work with trails off-road, so you probably have a perspective on this. It's not just beaches and stuff. It's our trails.
Mm-hmm.
People come from other countries with their vehicles to explore America because after all is said and done, these large expanses that we have in the West, there's nothing like it.
Mm-hmm.
We have a trail system just running through the West that's just amazing. And it's slowly being taken away from us because of a handful of people who won't clean up after themselves and who wreck the trails. So it's not just beaches, it's the whole outdoor thing.
Well, and the thing too is that whenever you go to say something to these idiots who are ruining our trails, because I've actually done this before, and the lynch mob came after me. How dare I say anything? They posted, it was a trail group, a very large trail group here in town. They posted some photos of them being off of the trail, climbing up an embankment that was not a road. It was not part of the trail. They were just doing it. Hey, I'm going to go climb that. I bet I can climb that. I said, this is how we get our trails closed. You guys shouldn't be posting this. You guys shouldn't be doing this. You should just stay on the trail and, be aware. And the lynch mob came after me. You're not allowed to say anything if these people are being stupid, even though you're looking out basically as a trail guardian to try and help preserve the trail so they can continue to go out there and do other things. No, they got to go out there and they've got to be stupid. So this is why I'm extremely selective who I wheel with.
We need to do a podcast on that. Going with a team and going solo, and what are the advantages and disadvantages?
Ugh.
I remember one time I was going to do the Oregon backcountry discovery route with a group of people. We are all in the same club. I don't want to say the name of the club, but we're all in the same club. And it was like 12 rigs, and I was just eating dust the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up day 2. It was like, I think, a 7 to 8 day long trip. Day 2, I bid them goodbye and I drove all the way to Vermont.
Okay.
So I prefer driving all the way to Vermont than finishing that trail with them 12 trucks. I was just eating dust. It wasn't good for my vehicle. It wasn't good for me. I couldn't see anything. We were wrecking the trail, having so many vehicles back to back.
Yeah, I try to spread out a little bit if I'm going with multiple vehicles. So I'm not eating dust. I don't care where I'm at in the convoy. In fact, I usually opt to be last so that I can lay back far enough to where I'm not eating dust. I can stop and take pictures because I am always the slow one. I am always the one who gets out and takes all the photos, and I don't want to hold anybody up. So I just let them go ahead.
Mhm.
And I will catch up with you. I am not lost. I am okay. I'm fine. So if I go with a group, I always opt to be last, and I'm okay.
That's the main reason I put a base station in my vehicle with a good strong 40 watts. Because go ahead. And, with the stronger 40 watts, I can still talk to people.
Yes.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about as far as news? Did you have something you wanted to mention?
Well, let's see if there's anything interesting on here. Just real quick.
You were telling me something during the course of the week about the 2025 Rampage.
Yes. The Rampage is looking super cute. It looks like a direct competitor to Ford, the Ranger. So we'll see how that comes out. The pickup lines at the back, they're not traditional lines. They look, I have to say, more Maverick.
Yes. And not only Maverick, it's not a good idea. Like a couple of Honda vehicles, we keep coming back to Honda. I forget the name of their truck, their pickup truck. They've got that slanted line. And then they wonder why no campers ever made for them. So do you like this new Ram? Why can't we get it?
The jury's out on that for me. I have not seen it in person. I don't know that it's not to me in a unibody, it's not a pickup truck. So the jury's out on that for me.
Well, it don't matter because it ain't coming to America. The last 3 editions of it have not come to America.
Okay.
So I don't know why these companies do that. Like, I think last week and the week before, we talked about vehicles that we loved, and they're not coming to America.
Hey, we finally got that Ford Ranger Raptor, though. So that makes me happy. I saw it whenever I was down in Mexico in May, and that is a hot little truck. I want one of those. I would be very happy with one of those.
Would you trade your Jeep for it?
Don't be silly. Let's not get ridiculous. So there is a little something that I would like to mention, something that I saw that came up. There was a new Guinness Book World Record set that was in South Africa, and it's set by the Suzuki Jimny Gathering. So 801 Jimnys attended this. I don't know if you've seen a Jimny before, made by Suzuki. Yeah, I like it. I think it's cute. But 801 Suzuki Jimnys showed up at one location to break this world record, and it is for the record for the most vehicles switching on their headlights simultaneously. That's what I said. I went, what?
Oh, so anything to get into the record books. I hear you.
I suppose. So anyway, the previous record, because there was a previous record, was set by 787 of small SUVs. So that's the record that they just broke.
Wow. So they were actually breaking some.
Yeah. It was an actual thing. So yeah, I just thought that was an interesting little piece of lighthearted news.
I thought you were going to talk to me about the new Ram 1500 TRX and the Hellcat.
Okay. So it's the new Hurricane for the 2025. Is that what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So in 2025.
Be clear on this.
So remember we talked about the final edition for 2024, that new special edition for the T-Rex, and they said this is it, we're getting rid of the T-Rex and all this stuff. Okay, what they're doing for 2024 is this is the last production year with the Hemi engine. So they're doing a redesign for 2025 and including the new Hurricane engine. What they're talking about, so right now there's 2 versions of the Hurricane. They're talking about a third, more powerful version being available for the T-Rex, possibly, according to the articles that I've read. They haven't given away anything yet, but that's what they're talking about.
So what do you think?
I think that the T-Rex has not been super popular simply because it doesn't get great gas mileage. I mean, it sucks it down really bad. It's a great looking truck. I've sat in it. I would love to drive it. I'm a Hemi girl, and the super truck thing would be really great, but it doesn't get great gas mileage. And I have to think that that's what's killing it.
I would agree. It's a sexy looking vehicle though.
Oh yeah. The T-Rex is beautiful. It's a beautiful truck.
All right. Thanks for doing the news with me, Candy.
My pleasure.
I know you put together a segment for us for our navigation segment. And I thought it was a very good idea. Talk about it.
So we're talking about what we'd like to do, what we enjoy doing for winter overlanding trips. Me personally, that's beach season. The beaches are less crowded. You can usually find a spot to camp really, in a nice spot. It's more quiet. And I like the cooler weather because I'm coming from the desert where it's always 100 degrees. So for me, beach season is during the winter months. So I thought, why not put together my top 5 favorite beaches for overlanders and talk about some of the area a little bit and things like that. So and let me just preface this by saying there's only one location that is still on my wish list that I have not been to.
Okay.
But I've done a lot of research about it, and it is still on my list because Mother Nature has not been my friend. Anytime I've tried to visit this particular location, so I will make it, but I just have not made it yet. But the other 4, I have made it to. So I can speak personally about these.
So here we go. Number 1.
So these are in no particular order as to which one is my favorite or not. So this is the first one.
Okay.
Assateague State Park in Maryland. The wild ponies there. So you can camp on the beach there. And all it is all you have to do, there's a dune that separates you from the campground, but you're camping essentially on the beach at night. You can hear the waves crashing, and the people go there to visit the wild ponies and see the wild ponies. They will invade your camp. People go searching for these ponies. Oh, no, just stay in camp. They will come to you. I have video of this one tent camper who left some stuff out whenever he decided to go and explore and things like that. And the ponies were trashing his place. And they're like bears in Yosemite. So keep a clean camp for sure. But it's about $30 per night to camp there. They have facilities with showers if you need showers. They with good bathrooms and things like that. And like I said, you're right on the beach. You can go fishing, kayaking. They even offer a boat cruise tour if you choose to take that from the visitor center. So, so that's one of my favorite beaches to go to that I have actually visited. So within 5 miles, there's another place if you want to get out and, do some sightseeing. Within 5 miles, there's this place called Sun Outdoors Frontier Town, and it's a little Western theme park. And then within 10 miles is Ocean City. They've got restaurants, mini golf, stores, anything that you might, if you forgot something, you want to pick something up, I would send you to Ocean City for that. So that is my very first beach that we're going to talk about.
All right. You starting out good. I love your first one.
Second one is coming to us from California, and it would be Pismo Beach or Oceano Dunes OHB area in San Luis Obispo County, California. So there are a number of ways to enjoy this particular location. There's dispersed beach camping in the Oceano Dunes area. The access to this area requires a water crossing. In the event that the water gets 12 inches or more deep, they close off access to the beach and you cannot disperse camp out there. So as an alternative, if you cannot access the beach for whatever reason, maybe stormy weather, things like that, and that has happened to me before where they say, yeah, unfortunately we're closed because the water levels are too high. There is a campground. It's called the North Beach Campground. And it's very similar to Assateague, where there's only a dune that separates you from the water. So you can hear the waves crashing at night, but it's a full campground. So you have facilities and things like that. So you are in this formal campground on the beach, but just not in the sand. So one of the really cool things that it's attached to, though, is the Monarch Butterfly Grove. So the Monarch Butterfly Grove in Pismo Beach hosts one of the largest colonies of monarch butterflies, October through February during their migration between British Columbia, Canada, and the Baja Peninsula in Mexico.
Can I ask you about that?
Sure.
Is this like periodically I'll see like on Instagram, I've even seen in commercials where they'll have like people in the forest in the trees and it looks like almost like leaves are falling, but it's just like a million monarch butterflies. Mm-hmm. Is that where those pictures are usually taken?
If they're in eucalyptus trees, then I would have to say maybe.
Okay.
So, but there are a number of places that, so the California coast, what they've done, especially in the Central Coast area, there are maybe 5 locations where they've intentionally planted the eucalyptus trees so that the butterflies do have a place to come in winter and actually stay warm. They'll cluster together during the colder days. If you've never seen it before, it just looks, it's really, really interesting to watch. They just look like they're just huge groups of monarch butterflies just clinging to these trees. It's just amazing. And it's beautiful. But again, that's only during the winter months. So that's something that's right next to the North Beach Campground. So it's literally connected. So you can stay at this North Beach Campground, visit the beach during certain parts of whatever and do your thing, and then go see the butterflies. And then plus the village of Pismo is less than a mile walk. If you want to walk down to the village of Pismo and get something to eat, enjoy the pier, because the pier is right there as well. This is just really one of my favorite winter destinations. I do this pilgrimage every single year, and I really, really like it. Something else, if you want to visit maybe a vineyard, Letitia Vineyards and Winery is 8 miles away from this location, and it's open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 5:30. They feature Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and sparkling wines. And they host several events for additional fees, one of which is a ATV vineyard tour, which sounds pretty cool to me. I have not done that. And if you're at all interested in the history of the area, the mission of San Luis Obispo, founded in 1772, is 15 miles north of this location as well, if you're interested in checking that out. And it's on the Camino Real Road.
So back to the part Pismo, the pier, is that the one where they have the different seafood places?
No, Pismo's pier is just a pier. They have a bunch of different seafood places in the village next to the pier. So, and it's excellent. I eat there every single time. So one of the restaurants that I like, it's called the Crab Cooker. They have great fresh clam chowder, and they've got one of these big. Do you remember the bucket of seafood that we got whenever we went to that and went to that music event, and we got the shrimp and everything?
Oh yeah, I can't forget that. Yes.
So this is crab, and you have your choice of what kind of crab, and it's potatoes and the corn and all that. And you just get this big bucket. It's dumped on the table. It's really excellent, especially with a nice crisp white. And I usually get a clam chowder to go for the next night, and I reheat it because it's that good and it's made in house. Okay. So yeah, if you do visit this area, don't miss out on the fresh seafood. They've got it and they do it well.
All right. You said you got how many more? I don't think you can outdo the 2 so far.
I've got 3 more.
Yeah, those are good. Keep going.
So this is for the seekers of solitude out there now. Now I'm talking to the people who don't want to be in these more crowded areas, who aren't necessarily looking to walk to a restaurant, who just want to get out onto the beach, camp on the beach, cook your own food, have a quiet night, and just enjoy the scenery and the wildlife. This is going to take you to Rutherford Beach in Creole, Louisiana. It is on the Gulf of Mexico. This one is free, and it is dispersed beach camping. It is an excellent shell collection beach for those of you who like to collect seashells. I found some really, really beautiful shells on this particular beach, and they were intact and good size and just really beautiful for people who are interested in that. So for those of you who maybe have 2-wheel drive, there is an immediate area before you get onto the sandy part of the beach where people kind of gather when they can't go any further. So there is a spot for you if you don't have dedicated 4-wheel drive, okay? Beyond that though, don't try it. You will get stuck. I have seen people getting stuck in vans and stuff, but I will tell you in the Jeep, I put it in 4 low. I went literally half a mile down the beach and saw no one else. It was me and my dog, and that was it. That was it. It was glorious. So last week we talked about the Creole Nature Trail, quote unquote, part of Louisiana's outback. This is the beach that I made reference to that you could camp on for free. So just to give you another idea of how remote it is, you're 2 hours away from this really cool factory though, that everybody knows. It's Tabasco. So you're 2 hours from Tabasco, which is on Avery Island. But to put it in perspective, you are 4 hours from New Orleans. So if you think you're going to go and you're going to tour this and go to New Orleans and stuff too in a weekend, you're set. You got another thing coming. This may not be the spot for you to stay. But if you're looking for solitude and you just want to go out and enjoy nature, there's a lot of wildlife viewing to include birds, alligators, otters, and dolphins. So this is a really great beach for that. But you're not walking to the village for a restaurant. That's not happening because it doesn't exist.
This sounds good to me.
Oh, it's fantastic. Okay, moving back to the West Coast. This is a place that I recently stayed at. This place was very, very loud, so you have to be prepared for that. It's called the Sand Lake Recreation Area, and it's an OHV area outside of Cloverdale, Oregon. There's 2 ways to stay here. So they've got a number of different beaches, a number of different campgrounds next to the beaches. Sand Beach Campground, West Wind, East Dune. So there's 3 different formal campgrounds that you can stay at. Or you can stay on the beach itself and disperse camp. There are 2 things that you're required to have. They require you to have a sand flag and a permit. So the permit is only $10 and it's good for 2 years. But those 2 things are required if you're going to camp on the beach itself and drive on the beach itself. It is very, very busy. It is very loud. But it was a very nice night because they do have hours. So it's not like you're going to have anything happening in the middle of the night, but you're not walking to the village to get any food or anything like that. It is strictly for people who want to be there and off-road on the beach. Everybody's doing it. So it is one of the really cool places that are nearby. 21 miles north is the Tillamook Creamery. So if you want to go to where they make cheese and you do the cheese tour and things like that, that's fantastic. I highly recommend that. Don't skip it. They also, so with Tillamook at the creamery, they have ice cream, pizzas, and some other food available that you can get that's made out of the Tillamook cheese. And then within 3 miles is a market with a gas station if you need to gas up and you need to pick up little grocery odds and ends if you're not going all the way into Tillamook. And that, again, is the Sand Lake Recreation Area. So this one is the one I have not been to, but it's been on my list forever because the weather does not cooperate. But let me tell you, there was a lot of research I had to do into this because it can be very confusing. So I'm here to to demystify this location. It's the Padre Island National Seashore in Texas.
Oh, okay.
Have you been there?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to shop. Go ahead.
It's run by the National Park Service, so it requires an entry fee or America the Beautiful Pass. There's 2 ways to stay. The campgrounds are all first come, first serve. There's no reservations available. You can also camp on the beach. So self-issued camping permits are required. At the campground, there is a fee. On the beach, it is free. So they have 2 campgrounds. So for if you have an RV or a 2-wheel drive vehicle or something like that, the fee campgrounds are what's recommended. So there's 2 beaches. There's North Beach and there's South Beach. North Beach is closer to Corpus Christi. That's where you would pick up your firewood because they don't sell it in the park. This is straight from the park's website. So if you want to go fishing, because you can go fishing, but you need a fishing permit, you get all of that in Corpus Christi. Okay. So none of it is issued at the visitor center or anything like that. So just know that. What else? So there's no water hookups available. There is water at let's see, how do I pronounce this? All right. Malachite. So at the Malachite campground.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, the Malachite campground does have a dump station and water where you can fill up, but there's no formal hookups at the sites. So if you're camping, if you need to refill because you're going to go beach camping and whatnot or exploring in the area, this is where you can do that.
I don't know. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't know the road, but I know that there's a road that stays pretty close to the coast that starts in Galveston, and it goes past where you're talking about to like South Padre. I'm just going to say it's a beautiful drive. That's all.
Oh, well, I was going to talk about the drive now because something to note, if you're going to drive on the beach, the north and south beaches are not connected. So if you want to visit both sides or you're questioning where you want to stay, you really need to plan that out because there is a 3 to 4 hour drive in between the north and the south beach entrances. The South Beach is strictly primitive beach camping, and it is along the 60 miles of shoreline. But only the first 5 are open to 2-wheel drive. The remainder from mile marker 5 to 60 requires 4-wheel drive. And then if you want to go into the Yarborough Pass, that requires high clearance 4-wheel drive. And there is also camping there. So on the North Beach, if you wanted to camp on primitive camping, it's along the first 1.5 miles. And they say it is 2-wheel drive friendly, although they always do recommend 4-wheel drive. Okay. Popular destinations include Little Shell Beach and Yarborough Pass, which is at mile marker 15. Be aware of changing beach conditions, which is where your app that you talked about comes in handy, which is called Tides, right? Or visit the visitor center. And there's a visitor center at each end. There's the South Padre Island Visitor Center and one on the North Island as well. So on the South Island, they also have a KOA if you would prefer to stay at a KOA and not do beach camping. Restaurants and other activities are available on the South Island. And then, of course, the North Island is connected to Corpus Christi, which has a lot of restaurants and activities to do as well. And one more location of note in that area, 25 miles north in Brownsville, is the Palo Alto Battlefield North National Historic Park, and that's on the Mexico border. And that's all the information that I have on winter beach camping. Hope y'all plan some trips.
That was a great list. That was a great list. And the crazy thing is, each one of them, you gave so many things that you could do and about the area, and you still didn't cover all the stuff that you could do in the majority of these places that you just named.
Right.
Like even with the last one, San Padre, you're not far from cities, depending upon where you're camping. So you can like go from beach to city like that. And I've never been there when they had the butterflies, but I've seen so many videos of people experiencing that. That's one of those things still on my bucket list. That was a great list. I enjoyed that list a lot.
Cool.
So I gotta give at least one camp spot. And I'm about to give, this is a camp spot that I've been going to, at least 15 years.
I got my pen out.
And it's in a nice area. It's near a road that's about 2,000 miles long. And it's on the beach. And you've probably, the majority of the time when you see overlanders and they have these beautiful pictures of their rig set up and they're on the beach camping, this is where they've taken these pictures. Matter of fact, I'm about to give you two places now that I thought about that. These are the two places that the majority of these photos are taken. The first one I'm talking about, you have to pay. And it's called Kirk Creek Beachfront Base Camp. Now, I don't know how much it is now, but it's always like one of the most expensive ones on the whole coast. I think last time I paid like $45, so it's probably like $55 or maybe $60 now. And you're like, I ain't gonna pay that much for it because you don't get no hookups, no nothing. But it's one of the most beautiful spots on the coast that you can legally camp.
What coast is this? What state's this in?
It's near San Diego. I mean, not San Diego, San Francisco. Well, I should say something. It's close. It's down the street from Big Sur, damn near.
Oh, okay. All right.
And you have to reserve it. I mean, they have like a handful that you can get, you can walk up and get, but there's usually people parked on the highway waiting for the person to come so that they can get that spot. So you better get a reserved spot.
Good advice.
And when it's time to reserve them, don't think about it. Don't talk to your spouse about it. Go ahead and reserve it because you'll come back and then that spot will be gone.
So is it on Highway 1 then?
101, I thought. No, one. It's on one.
Highway
it's on 1. It's on 1.
Okay.
If you're in Big Sur, you just keep south.
So PCH, the PCH, which is going to be a gorgeous stretch of coastline.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna pass the I can't remember the name of the park. The park everybody likes where the waterfall is falling down into the beach on the sand.
Pfeiffer.
That's it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You pass that. You pass some wonderful restaurants.
I've seen this campground that you're talking about.
I know you have. And then there's this bridge that people like a famous photo that people like to take.
The Bixby.
And if you know how to get to that bridge, there's a trail. People don't realize there's a bunch of trails along the coast.
I've done it. Okay. It's called the Lost Coast Trail.
No, that's different. That's my other campground I was going to tell you. That's further. That's north. So the Lost Coast is the only place that's still kind of like sort of rural, natural or whatever. And
it's free.
Yes.
I love it up there.
So if you're trying to, and it shocks me, every time I've gone there, there's maybe one other person there. It's never crowded. I guess because there's nothing really around the area. You have to drive like maybe about 45 minutes to get back to the one. And I think there's like a gas station and a pizza place.
I tell you what, though, whenever we were there, we visited the Black Beaches whenever we were down there, because they've got these gorgeous black beaches that you can visit in the towns. Because they've got these itty bitty little towns, and the grade on these hills are just ridiculous. It was craziness. You could smell people's brakes burning and everything, just trying to get there. But the Black Beaches, and you can drive on the Black Beaches too, incidentally.
Mm-hmm. So that's my 2. It's Kirk Creek Beachfront Base Camp, and then anywhere on the Lost Coast. And do some research on your own, people. The Lost Coast, there's a nice trail that starts at where that first campground is, and you can drive that all the way to something called Cove Point or something Cove. It's something with the word Cove in it. But it's this nice, long, beautiful trail. You've probably seen video or pictures where a person is on this trail and it looks like they're on the side of a mountain, and they're above the clouds, and then there's the ocean off to the side. That's where they take those pictures. If you notice, everything correlates to a picture with it. But it's a beautiful drive, and when you get to the end, you have the option of taking a few more miles of trail, or there's a handful of nice little resorts and campgrounds there. So the Lost Coast and the Kirk Creek Beachfront Base Camp. I loved your list, Candy.
Thank you.
I wasn't worried. What else we got? Well, I want to stay on winter overlanding for a second.
Okay.
And when I say winter overlanding, I just mean in the winter months. I don't mean, I wanted to give maybe some alternative trails to take. I'm doing this off the cuff, so while you were doing that, I was literally typing stuff. So this isn't like
for me, welcome to desert season. Whenever the winter hits, this is whenever we go wheeling in the desert. I avoid it during the summer. So I have a lot of places to rattle off if you want.
Go for it. So my first one falls in line with everything, the Mojave Road. I think the winter is the best time. It's the only time, in my opinion, if you're trying to do from one end to another and complete it. And be comfortable. Because the only issues with the Mojave Trail is if you're there when it's raining, you ain't gonna make it.
Nope. No, Soda Lake is gonna get you.
You ain't gonna make it. Or the heat. Either the heat gets you or it gets your vehicle. So I think Mojave Trail, if you're in the West Coast, if you're in the California area, the Mojave Trail is a must do, and that's the perfect time to do it. You could throw in anytime you want.
ANZA-BORREGO is wonderful. They've got a lot of trails down there. You can't pass up the sculpture garden, though. You have to visit the sculpture garden and at least see the most famous, the diva of the sculpture gardens, which happens to be the serpent or the dragon. People call it. It goes across the street. It's huge. People don't realize how huge it is. I couldn't get it all in one picture. I tried. So, and then of course, Death Valley is riddled with all kinds of trails.
You got my list.
I see you. I know. I've got you, man. Mind meld.
No, but go ahead. Talk about Death Valley.
Death Valley has a lot of trails. Maybe not right now, because right now parts of it are still closed from the all of the flooding that happened, which is craziness. And Mojave is similar right now too. But normally Death Valley has a lot of really great, like Titus Canyon, one of my very favorite trails. Titus Canyon is a lot of fun to do during the winter months. And I've been through there. Well, you can't go in the dead of winter because they do get snow there. So you have to be careful. I've been there in April when we were getting snowed on, and I have video of, us being on the side of the cliff and stuff. But it's still a really great location to check out whenever it's warmer out. Because Death Valley, it's cold everywhere else except Death Valley. It's still 70 to 80 degrees if you want to escape the cold.
So you just named my whole list. I told you I was creating this list while you were talking. I only had, that was it.
Oh, that was it. Okay.
Yeah, when I was living in Vegas, I used to love to go to Death Valley starting in like November to about early April. And you could actually deal with it. You might even get a cold day.
So another location that you might look into also for a winter spot is the Kofa National Wildlife Refuge in Arizona. That's a really solid spot. You can disperse camp through there. It's it's a really pleasant place to be in the winter months, and it's warm like Death Valley. So
when you were giving your list of beach places, and I just knew you were going to add a beach from Baja.
I was thinking about it, but a lot of people can't add, I don't know. There was one off San Felipe that was really beautiful that we enjoyed and we stayed at multiple times. And you're within, walking distance to the village. And there's a lot of different opportunities, different ways to stay there. So there's dispersed, if you want to do that. And then there's also some places where you can actually pay a fee. And that way you can pay your fee and you can actually walk into San Felipe. And that's where they've got a lot of really good food. We had some really great food in San Felipe.
All right, guys, you know what I'm going to say. Stay safe, tread lightly, and hopefully I'll see you here or on the trail soon.
You have been listening to Waypoint Overland's Random Waypoints. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.